right?
Or burn it right down.
You guys don't know what Apple. Who knows what Apple working? I told you.
Yeah, I know.
That's like shout. You don't remember?
But
You remember that shit? Man, come on, not lying, man. Your mom made you watch that shit all Christmas. Stop lying.
but I don't want to spend too much time on the vocals, so.
No, but yo, listen, I'm glad.
Want to come back to the Sonar demo?
I'm glad you brought that up because I had to take vibrato out of. Yo, it's hard to, when you do multiple takes of a vocalist to make them thicker, if they're going all the time, it's hard to recreate that track after track. So I tell them sing simple. You're gonna sing, do that straight through. If you want to get fly on an ad-lib track. You want to do 4 or 5 dope vocal tracks to make it sound thick, or to do something like an octave up, or to do a harmony to it, do it simple. I'll add the vibrato if I need it, and it's hard to take it out, but it does work. But people that just do vibrato in every note, man, that's like ridiculous, man. That's like a guitar player that just throws the damn ball in every freaking phrase. It's like, dudes, man, ease back. You know what I'm saying? So train, as a producer, train your vocalists and train your rappers too, because rappers think that nobody can tell them shit. Any rappers in here? Yep. You don't want nobody telling you shit, right? That's me, son. You trying to curb my creativity, kid. Don't lie, man. Nah, man, I see you got the hat tilted side. No. That's the don't tell me shit tilt. Nah, but I'm saying, man, that's me. Yo, I ain't trying to water my shit down, kid. Yo, really, man, listen to your producer, your rapper, please. A lot of times they're just as inexperienced as you, but chances are, if you work with 4,000 producers and your shit ain't work, and you go into a new booth talking about, it's probably not the beats. You know what I'm saying? It's probably not the beats. Your shit just ain't working no matter where you go. So listen to a dude for a minute. You know what I'm saying? For a minute. If he's wrong, fine. Go back to what you were doing.
Okay, so you're giving advice to, an MC, to listen to the producer, but we've got a lot of producers in the house.
Right.
As a producer, when you deal with maybe somebody who's a little difficult or their ego's a little out of check,
You play to their ego. First of all, you're not going to win an argument with anybody that has an ego. It ain't going to fucking happen. I don't care how many platinum albums you have on your wall. It won't work. I don't have nothing on my wall, which is not true. But at one time, I refused to put them up. And you'd be surprised at the way people change how they talk to you when you throw them on the wall. And you tell me, yo, you ain't Drake. You're right, I'm not Drake. But you ain't fucking Nas. So you was wrong with me. So I threw the records on the wall. Now when they come through, oh, yo, no doubt, son. Yo, so is that all right, kid? Yo, that was cool. And it's like, that's some bullshit, really. What difference does that make? At one time, Dre was whack too. Y'all remember the World Class Record Crew and shit? He was turning off the lights and shit. He had pink on and ruffles, and he was wearing a thong with jelly beans and shit out of it. In any case, man, everybody starts somewhere. But somebody has to have a vision. You have to follow it. And sometimes you don't know. You don't know what he's going to do with that track when you leave. It's like you laying down a little mini brick, some shit. You don't know what the whole house is going to look like when you're done. You do what the fuck he tell you to do, leave. When you come back, that shit's a house. Oh, word? Damn. You ever see that painting program on public access where the guy just throws shit all on the canvas? You don't know what the hell he's doing? He does one little line, that shit's a mountain. It's like, oh shit. How the hell? That's what this shit is. That's what this is. You throw little things on there, your vocalist might not have an idea of what you're trying to do. So what you do is, when it's difficult, say things like, yo, that was real dope, man. Yo, I bet if you sang like this, that should be just as dope, because I think you can do everything, man. Man, I never heard nobody like you, kid. I can do that shit. Just throw that shit, son. Then he does it, yo, that was real hot, man. But you know what? I'm thinking of changing the key a little bit maybe later. Can you do it another key just in case? He does that key, that's the one you really want, because he ain't singing the key anyway. And then boom, you know what I'm saying? He kisses his ass for a little bit, he leaves. He has an ego the size of Montana. You get your project done, it's all good. And then he tells everybody it was because of him.
So, all right. So that's about dealing with the difficult ego. What about some advice about getting people more inspired or raising their energy level on a track? Do you have any techniques for working with a vocalist to really pull that performance out of them?
First of all, I tell them don't listen to shit for like 3 days before you come to my studio. Because you're gonna hear something that's real hot, you're gonna want to sound like it, whether you know it or not. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna have this little vocal take, and it's gonna be like, that sounds very thick, man. I know what that shit is. That's 50 Cent. What the fuck? So you gotta really, People don't realize how strong the subconscious is. So what I usually do is if I can't stop them from listening to stuff, I'll say, yo, what's up? What you doing today? You're like, when we go out and hang out for a minute. I'll take them someplace that's nothing to do with music. If I'm gonna be angry, I'll take them to the Bronx. I'll take them to 149th Grand Concourse. Like, yo, this is the writer's bench, kid. Then I go up there and go to Yankee Stadium and we play some ball. Get them aggressive. 2 days I get them aggressive. What you doing tonight? Tomorrow night. I'm chilling. Go out to the spot, have some beers. Not a club, a bar. Where it's just cats in there just drinking. Say, yo, what's up, guy? Next day, he's feeling that grindy shit. Have somebody that wants some pretty stuff. There's a chick. Make a little date. Grab with my wife. Go head out. Go to the botanical garden or some shit. Go to the museum. See some culture. And what happens is you put them in a different mindset. But it's not about really telling them do this. It's like a director. It tells them, yo, I want you to cry in the scene. Pretend somebody just kidnapped a kid. Somebody killed us and shit. You know, and if you got a kid, it's like, God damn, you know. If you don't got a kid, then what? So I try to get them in the mood in advance. If I don't have that, when they get to the studio, order some food for them, you know, get them in the mood that I want. You know, you got sweet talking, man. Just like a girl. Try to get a girl. You got sweet talking, son. Dudes are worse than chicks. Dudes will fall for anything, man. Chicks, it takes some work. Dudes, you're like, yo, something, no doubt. They just say, damn, all right, that was easy. You know what I'm saying? Dudes' egos are right here. And girls, don't use that shit against us. I know you're like, yeah, all right. This guy's money is over tonight. Any other questions? Anybody got any questions for me, by the way?
Yeah, how about somebody in the audience? Do you have some questions, please?
When you go, like, let's say you work with Sonar and you need a project you have to take to the studio, what format do you save it to take it
That's
to
a very good
the...
question.
Because usually they have Pro Tools, right?
Let me, I'll repeat the question so everybody can hear it. Okay, so the question was, when you take a Sonar project to another studio that doesn't use Sonar, for instance, they might use Pro Tools or Nuendo or Former, what format do you do it?
I export it as an OMF file, which show them real quick on the file. OMF stands for Open Media Framework, or as I call it, other motherfuckers files. And what happens is, you export it as an OMF. Now, if they have a real program, it will open. Now, a lot of Pro Tools dudes that are using their boxes are going to lie to you and say they're using Pro Tools. They're not. They're using LE, and it can't open. Why? Because it's not meant to open professional programs. It's professional files.
All right, let me elaborate.
Unless you use Ticket Translator, which is a $500 program, which costs just as much as the actual program, and it does open.
Right, there's another thing that you can do though. So if you're working with somebody who has a Pro Tools LE studio,
Yeah, right.
What you can do is you can export broadcast wave files. All right, and what a broadcast wave file is, it's a type of wave file that is it keeps the timing in. So you can just export all of your individual tracks as broadcast waves, and then they would pull in Pro Tools and drop exactly at the right time.
Yeah, it got exactly where it was in your project.
And Sonar has the most flexible file exporting ability of any program that's out there. And basically, you can export your entire mix, your main outputs, your buses, or your tracks all in one step. So you don't have to sit there and manually export every single track, have it render in real time, you know, the way it happens in some other program. And so you just do it all at once and it'll export all your tracks as individual wave files.
Would it copy also the transport and all the different setups we have, or just some of it?
Yeah, you print it. You'd be printing it.
So whatever's happening,
right to the tracks.
it's like when you mix it down,
Effects.
except you just mix it down individual tracks, that's all.
And it happens faster in real time. So the faster your computer, the faster it'll happen.
That shit works. I'm gonna tell you right now. Nobody I know uses Sonar because they always use Mac. They use other stuff, and everybody does their shit in my studio when they can't fix it in theirs. Give me a call, yo, I'm having a problem. And what are you doing on it? Oh, Mac, Logic. Okay, bring it over to the OMF. Boom, open it up, done.
Yeah. One more thing. I just wanted to mention that Sonar has a 64-bit audio engine, which is the highest audio quality in the industry. So,
Right.
any other questions? Yes, sir.
Sonar 6. Give me everything I got. Everything that I need.
Yep.